will the 49ers ever trade Jimmy Garoppolo? And the reason I ask is because John Lynch makes it seem like he thinks he will. He says even though he never got an offer, he was like close. There was a market. They were talking, and all of a sudden it all dried up because of this one little shoulder surgery, and that should be squared away pretty soon. All of a sudden, the team should come flocking back. Do you see that happening?
Who? I think the one team that I could think back and have conversations with, possibly Pittsburgh, but it felt like Pittsburgh did not like where the conversations were going because they signed Trubisky to a backup quarterback contract and said, "Screw you, we don't want Garoppolo." And
I think they're good at quarterback now. And I think Garoppolo was probably lucky he didn't end up going there because they were just going to take a quarterback in round one.
Yeah, that was going to happen. I think that's why the trade conversation becomes difficult, right? I've talked about this. I don't think anybody views him as anything more than a one-year stopgap the way he was for the Niners this year.
I'm not even sure anyone looks at him that way anymore. Like, where's the
opening? At this point, everybody's pretty comfortable with where their quarterback situation is, besides Cleveland and the 49ers, who are trying to unload quarterbacks that nobody wants. Even like Seattle seems to be good going the Drew Lock route for a year and seeing what happens. I mean, Lock still has reasonable amount of talent. It's been awful when he's played outside of like 4 games his rookie year, but like
also Seattle's going to draft a quarterback in round 1 next year.
Yeah, and they're building a team where they're building a team for whoever their future quarterback is. They're getting back to their trenches, and they're building a team for that. So like they're totally rebuilding. But the thing is, I do think Washington's maybe the only team, and that's because they traded for Carson Wentz. And if you're trading for Carson Wentz, I can think that maybe Garoppolo is part of that conversation, but I can't even be 100% sure that at this point, who's going to trade for Garoppolo?
I agree. No, I agree. I'm sold. So let's move on. So I feel like there's 4 outcomes that could potentially happen here with Jimmy. He gets traded. He gets cut. He's the backup for the Niners. He's a starter for the Niners. I don't think he's getting traded. Vish doesn't think he's getting traded. Do you think the Niners, after repeatedly saying on the record, too good cut, you don't just get rid of a player like this. You don't just get rid of that asset, that value. You do an about face.
I don't think they'll cut him. I think it looks bad if they cut him when they cut him, right? Because he is a guy that's beloved in the locker room, all of that. I do think there's a intangible part of the conversation where if you cut Jimmy Garoppolo in June or July, it's very tough for him to go latch onto some squad and get a chance to compete in training camp. You kind of screw his entire market. He doesn't really get any money because most teams have their cap totally filled out. They've drafted they've signed their draft picks and all that. I think that it would reflect. I think players would side.
Wouldn't be popular.
I don't think it would be popular. I think they would look at it as they screwed Garoppolo. I think that's how it would be a little bit looked at because they didn't give him an opportunity to handle his business elsewhere. And I think that's part of the fear with cutting him. I think that's why they keep saying he's too good to cut too, because they want him. I mean, when you're that beloved, I mean, there's no doubt about it, right? You've been in the locker room. It's at this point, it's inarguable how much they like him. I don't know why that is.
So we agree, though. I already bet my dad a bottle of wine that they're not gonna cut him. So you say that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be on the team week 1.
No,
you're guessing.
No.
How they're not going to cut him?
Don't ask me how it makes sense. It doesn't make sense, but. I think there's some
God will come down and just intervene. Like it'll be divine intervention. I'm not going to
divine intervention. I'm again like
you just don't want to speak it into existence.
I watched Doctor Strange yesterday. I think there's some parallel universe where Garoppolo somehow has a market and you can trade for him. But no, seriously, like I don't know what they're gonna do. I can't even have a conversation about this.
Telling me he's gonna be on the team
at this point. I don't know how they're going to sign their draft. I think that like there's moves they can do, but I would rather have them just clear money using Garoppolo rather than do a bunch of moves to sign their draft. I don't know. I don't understand this situation. Logically, it just doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense.
He's going to be on the team. The question is he going to be the starter or the backup? That's my question.
How can you have him on the team? That's Nick Foles and Carson Wentz.
I know. My dad made the bet with me because he said the Niners aren't insane enough to do this. And I said, yes, they are. Yes, they are.
I don't even know what it is at this point. Because like insanity is not doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. If they start Jimmy Garoppolo, they are insane.
Yes. And you know what? That's what I'm banking on. So I think he's going to be on the team, and I really think if they keep him on week 1, it's going to be hard to bench him.
I think they're
Be hard
hoping
to
for
bench him.
some injury, something. Somebody gets desperate and needs Garoppolo, but
man, that's a different level of desperation, man.
But that's hope, right? You can't make a business decision on
No.
hope. Here's Grant. This is where you stay with your tinfoil hat on. I'll put on my fan hat, and I'll say that I believe that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch know exactly what they're doing.
Okay.
They have a solution.
What a
Garoppolo, this is all
diplomatic
Garoppolo's
answer.
fault,
I love it.
huh?
What a diplomatic answer. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I don't know how they're going to do it. I can't figure it out, but they'll figure it out. Yeah.
I like. What is the market for him at this point?
Nothing.
Do you want to go down the teams? All right, let's start.
Seattle isn't that stupid. Houston's better off keeping Davis Mills.
Okay, maybe Houston.
Carolina already said they're out.
I mean, Carolina's out. Carolina's out.
Carolina's
out at this
Indianapolis
point. I know that. Carolina's out at this point.
Yeah.
Indianapolis is out.
Out.
New Orleans is out.
The New York Giants?
Atlanta's out.
No.
So I thought the Giants would be a destination when Joe Judge was still there and all of that, and they didn't take Daniel Jones' fifth-year option. So maybe, but like they have Tyrod Taylor, who's getting paid decent money.
Right.
Like if you're gonna go the route of 1-year bridge quarterback, I'd rather go cheap Tyrod Taylor than $25 million Jimmy Garoppolo. Garoppolo maybe wins you 2 or 3 more games, but Brian Daboll doesn't need job security. He just signed. He just got hired.
Jimmy needs to accept the fact that he's not a bridge quarterback anymore. You are Ryan Tannehill leaving Miami. You're a backup now. You need to go bide your time somewhere behind someone that's overrated and get a second chance, but you're not going to get it.
Who is that guy for him, though? Is it Miami? Is it Tua?
I don't know. I guess it depends on what he's willing to pay for.
Teddy Bridgewater, and his deal is up to $10 million. What does that mean, Grant? Means that if he starts X amount of games, he's going to get $10 million. So if they gave him that money, that means they're hedging their bets with Tua already.
It's not Miami.
So why bring in Garoppolo?
Yeah, I mean, who would want to bring in Garoppolo as a backup? First of all, you'd have to renegotiate his contract.
Giants would make sense. Yeah, Daniel Jones, you're not sure, but they got Tyrod. Yeah.
So not them. I mean,
and it's an odd system fit anyway with Daboll.
Really, I can't. Who's an overrated young quarterback?
Out. New England's no longer a part of this conversation. People want to say the Raiders. Look at the money they just gave Derek Carr. And Derek Carr is a considerably better football player than Garoppolo.
Yeah.
I look at Derek Carr as a quarterback you can win a Super Bowl with.
Here's Jimmy's problem. Some people say Jimmy's a good quarterback. The Niners like to say Jimmy's a good quarterback. I don't know what that means. He's not good enough, though. I think it's been pretty much proven. He's not good enough. And he's not getting better. So why would you waste a minute of your time with him as your starting quarterback? You'd be better off starting an unknown and at least having a chance.
I think this segues into a nice conversation. I do quarterback rankings, but it's more personal exercise. I like doing it. And I like naming tiers with funny things. So I usually just name tiers and put quarterbacks into that. So I have a tier that's elite. I have a tier that's franchise QBs. I have a tier that I look at as good starters. And then I have a tier I look at as expensive quarterbacks that you don't want starting for you because they're replaceable starters that are actual starters, but they're expensive. And Garoppolo, Carson Wentz, and Baker Mayfield are the 3 that are in that conversation. And the entire point is that they're not good enough. They're good enough to be starters, but they're not good enough to do anything that will put you over the top at their price tag. No. And that's where the conversation becomes way more difficult because there's just better value, in starting Jalen Hurts for 4 years, even though he's not a great quarterback, but at least he's an improving, ascending young player who's cheap than there is in paying Carson Wentz $30 million or Garoppolo $30 million. Because
you're right. You're right. And that's why the Niners need to move on to Trey Lance right now. Right now. Niner by Nature 88 says Sir Lance for MVP and his haters will bow down to their knees, on their knees, to kiss the ring.
I don't know if he has haters as much. I think his skeptics are more skeptical of what it's more about the Niners and the messaging they're giving. I don't know why anybody would be skeptical about Trey Lance or hating on Trey Lance other than, a select few of weird people. But I don't think those are the people that are disappointed in him in the media. I think the media people are just reading the situation how you would read it. Let's take this and let's say the Jets were doing this exact same thing. They had a starter, they drafted, they traded up, and they were doing this with Trey Lance, but it wasn't the 49ers, it was the Jets. Niners fans who are or the ones that are pretty rational that would
Sure.
take a point of view on this would have the same exact conversation. I remember a lot of people putting the Rams down for, and I was one of them, for having $24 million of dead cap of Jared Goff while
Yep, me
trading for
too.
Stafford. Like, this is stupid. What are you
Yeah,
doing? All of that.
can't do that.
Because
Yeah,
technically, yes, even though they
don't
won
do
the
it.
Super Bowl, which
Yeah,
is phenomenal, carrying $24 million of dead cap for Jared Goff is bad business.
it is.
But
Yeah, they made it work.
yeah. So you do have like what the Niners are doing right now in terms of business. I do think it's fair for people to be a little bit skeptical. Now that Lance could shut it all down, he's the ace in the hole. If Lance is phenomenal, then everybody gets to laugh. But if Lance isn't, then we got to have this conversation. Each of the topics we did in today's show, they all of a sudden turned into a topic of this is why John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan failed with the 49ers, even though they've been to 2 NFC championship games, which is shocking.
You know who the real ace in the hole is? The one who's going to save everyone's job? Kyle, John,
Brock Purdy.
Brian Greasy. Brian Greasy. Brian
Hey,
Greasy is going to mold
he
Trey
saved
Lance.
ESPN. He
That's
saved
right.
Monday Night Football by
He's
taking the
just sort of
49ers
dry,
job.
non-humor, pessimistic outtake on everything.
He's just kind of mean. He's just
super mean. His whole
and it's like Aikman's mean too,
yeah,
but Aikman's mean in like a nice way, if that makes
yeah,
sense. Like
yeah,
he's brutally like, oh, Garoppolo usually doesn't hit that throw, Joe, but he really hit it there.
yeah.
And then, but he's also Troy Aikman. Like he's got
He
cachet.
like laughs it off.
Yeah, and he's also
Yeah,
got cachet.
Greasy's like
just
got an
this
action
like,
plan.
oh
This
man,
guy.
you know the ball has to go there. Why didn't he throw it there? Oh.
Yeah, like he
It's
was
kind of
like
like a
Tom Brady or
gruff.
something. Yeah,
It's like Kyle Shanahan. He's kind
yeah,
of gruff, a very
Gruff.
dry sense of humor
Yeah.
like that. And then you have McVay, who's like, "Hey, Matthew Stafford, best quarterback I've ever seen. Hey, let me tell you. Hey, let me tell you about Matthew Stafford."
Yeah, he's a young John Gruden, except how Gruden acted on
But he's a
television,
good
not
coach.
how he conversed in emails.